Hello and welcome back. In this video, inside the notification service, we want to implement some features and it's related to the emails folder. Remember that we are using a template and we are using the EJS template. Now let me show you something. I will open the terminal and I will run the npm run build command. So I'll execute this command so that it's going to build the code and then create a build folder. If we go to the package.json, you can see here we have our build command with we are using tsc and then tsc alias. Okay, so I will wait for this to be built and we check the build folder. Okay, so the build is complete. Before we open the build folder, remember that in the source we have the emails which contains our templates, and we also have the queues folder which are all TypeScript files. Now if I go to the build, open the source, you can see here that I don't have the emails folder because it's not a TypeScript file. So TypeScript did not build that file or did not add it into the source folder inside our build. Now this is going to cause a problem. If you deploy this either on Minikube or on AWS EKS cluster, whichever cluster you deploy this on, you are not going to be able to send emails, or maybe the emails will be sent but you will not receive any email. Instead you will receive an error because the emails folders that contains the templates, they are not part of the build. Remember that this build folder is what we actually run inside our container. Okay, so we have to fix this. Okay, so we have to find a way to fix this so that we add this emails template. Even if you try setting the template name, setting the paths here inside your server file, it will still not work. So what we need to do is to copy this emails folder and its content into source when it is built. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. Let me delete this build folder. And I'm going to install a package, and the package is called shell. Okay, so npm install shell.js. So this package just allows you to use Unix shell or Unix command line in Node.js. Okay, so go ahead and install this package. We are also going to install the types as well. But before we get to that part, now in the root of your project, not inside the source, but in the root, I'll create a folder. I'll call this tools. Okay, I'll call this tools, and inside I'll create a file called copy assets.ts. It's going to be a TypeScript file, and this is where we are going to copy what we want. So I can say import all as shell from shell.js, and I will hover on it. It requires us to install the types. Okay, so hover on it and then you copy this command npm install save dev, then types shell.js. Go ahead and install the types as well. Okay, so I have that installed. Now while that is being installed, what I want to do is inside this file, I want to copy this emails folder from the source into the build source folder. That is just all I need to do. So here I'll call shell.cp copy. You can check on npm to see other commands you can use with this shell.js. Okay, so copy, and since we want to copy a folder, it's going to be -arrow recursive. Okay, and I want to copy so the source and the destination. So we need to add a source and a destination, as you can see. So we want to copy from source src/emails, and the destination. Remember that we are going to generate a build folder, so we want to copy it into build/source/. Okay, so copy everything you have in the emails folder, then copy it into the build source folder. Now if this is successful and then we run it on our cluster, we should not get any issue when we send an email. Okay, so when an email is sent, we should receive the email instead of receiving an error. So now what I'm going to do is I will just go ahead and run npm run build. So npm run, but before I run that command, we need to use this file. So go to package.json. So go to package.json, and I want to execute this command in the build as well. So after I run the tsc project tsconfig and ts-alias-p tsconfig, then I'll say and let's check if we have ts node. So check if you have ts node. Okay, if you don't have ts node, make sure you install ts node. Okay, so install it, and then here I'm going to say ts node, ts-node. Remember, it's a node, it's a TypeScript file, so I will use ts node, and I want to run the file tools. Okay, so tools / and then the name of the file is copy assets.ts. So once the build is complete, we are then going to use this command to copy the emails folder from your source into your build source folder. So this is the first thing. Then what I want to do also, so that I don't forget, go to your Docker file. Okay, so go to your Docker file. Here you can see here where you copy source. Okay, I want to copy the tools folder as well. Okay, so here is going to be copy, and I want to copy tools from the current directory into our work directory. Okay, so I copy the tools folder so that inside the Docker container, before it starts the container, it will execute this command, or before it runs the npm run build, it will have these files to execute the command. And let's see if we also need, yes, so we can do the same thing in our Docker dev file as well. So I'll paste it here as well. Okay, so now we have what we need. Let me run the npm run build command, and let's just wait for it, and then we see what we have inside our build folder. Okay, so the build is complete. Now let me open the build folder, and you can see I have the tools folder with the files, and now you can see here I have the emails. Okay, so now with this, we are not going to have any issue when we deploy and we try to send an email. So go ahead and make these necessary changes.